What's cracking, guys? Welcome back to yet again another episode of the Honda Recap. We have a lot of things to cover. I want to go over a bunch of new channels and a bunch of stuff happened this week in the Honda community. Let's get right in this. What's cracking, guys? Welcome back, like I said, to another episode of the Honda Recap. If this is the first time you clicked on this, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up and that bell so you're notified every Monday night at 8 o'clock when this thing airs. Basically, what I'm trying to do is go over everything that's happened in the past week here on YouTube from some big channels and some new channels and just try to bring it into one digestible episode. So if you have work, school, friends, you don't have time to just binge your favorite YouTube channels, I can maybe bring us all together one day a week, Monday night at 8, so you can stay involved, get talking to other people in the community, and just stay along with what's been going on as people upload on a daily basis. Thank you to all the OG people that are back here again. What's up? And to the Premiere crew, what is going on, guys? I'm there in the comments talking with you guys, so say what's up. Say what's up to everybody else who's watching this live right now on Premiere. And if this is the first time you're watching, make sure to stay tuned. We got a lot more videos coming every Monday night at 8 o'clock. With that said, I want to kick this off by saying I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving weekend. You got some cool car parts this weekend as there was a many Black Friday deals. We had Downstar with Bolt Friday. Checkered Sports had an awesome sale going on. Skunk 2 up to 30% off. Speed Factory every Black Friday is always doing something very nice. I know Whitfield even threw out there a bunch of new products that they're trying to get out there. So props to you guys for constantly innovating across the board. I hope you guys took advantage of the sales. I know we got Christmas coming up too. So hopefully also you didn't spend all of your money, but if you did, I really hope you got some really good stuff for your money. All right, to kick this off really quick, this guy hit me up on Instagram with a really awesome build, and I'm super happy he did because I'm very excited to show people this, and I want to see you complete this, and that is BeyTek.
Yes! Welcome back to the channel, guys. How are you? It's myself and Come Nexter. He's coming in to give me a wee hand again. Yeah. Tonight we're going to be sticking the engine back into the car, and we're going to bolt it all down, bolt it to the gearbox, and then we're going to start mocking up turbo manifolds. So yeah, all this covers all, it's all torqued up and that. I will be giving it a bit of a freshen up and a clean with some nice paint and that once it's cleaned down. Again, AN10 fit in there. She's on raring to go. But yeah, I found these studs are a wee bit too short, so I'll have to basically make my own studs for the exhaust manifold. Yeah. Just so she holds on, because it's going to have plenty of weight on it. I also took this off as well and cleaned the screen and the V.
This build looks like something that, you know, a bunch of people would want to do but never actually accomplish, and I'm really happy that you already have the engine in the engine bay, and if you haven't already noticed, yep, that's a K20 in an FD3S. When his channel started, he's got a couple videos up already. He did have the rotary. It was running quite well, but you know what, like most rotaries, 13Bs, you know, they're questionable. I think the motor blew and he decided he wanted the Honda reliability, but the really awesome look of the FD. So props to you, man. You have the K-Series already in the motor. You're putting a huge turbo on it. I'm really excited to see what kind of power you put down. The body style is one of the greatest ones that came out of the 90s, at least in the quote-unquote Legend series, you know what I mean? So I'm really happy that you're putting kind of the new quote-unquote technology of the K-Series engine and went in an awesome body style. So props to you, man. I hope this build keeps going, and I want to see what power you actually put down. All right, next up, I talked about this guy a couple weeks back on Dre's Racing channel. This is actually his buddy, and that is Garage Built TV.
First, let me show you the nice shirts. These are available on his website or Facebook page. You can contact him through Instagram or Facebook. Links will be in the description. If you need anything K or J swap related to your MR2 SW20. Alright, now here we go. We have the very first set of J swap mounts for an SW20. Stas is the creator and right now the leader for the J series stuff.
So like I said, this is Brian from Garage Built TV. He's actually probably doing one of the first J swaps in the, what is it, like SW11 MR2. I know there's a couple of companies out there. Toyota, I think, is doing something cool. The mixture of obviously Toyota and Honda. They build a lot of mounts, but I think these guys are actually making their own. But in this latest video, I think they actually are half making their own and half going with mounts that are already pre-made, which is awesome to help actually get the motor into the build. I'm super juiced about this because I love the fact that people are taking Honda motors. The J Series is pretty cheap if you can get your hands on it. They're great motors. They put out great power, and at the same time, I've even seen the J Series go in NSXs, so it's a great V6 to play around with. It's going to do amazingly in the MR2, so definitely check out GarageVelt TV. If you like MR2s, rear-wheel drive, but you want them Honda powered, this is definitely the channel for you. All right, next up, I'm just going to go ahead and get right into this. This is Hoonigan, but Hoonigan bonus.
The CRX and the NSX, the reason they do the X, it's a mathematical symbol that means unknown variant, which means sort of experimental, like super crazy. So NSX means new sports, mathematical symbol X, which is like super experimental. So a lot of people say new sports experiment, or new sports like unknown quantity, like it's unlimited.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Super cool.
That's nerd
No,
stuff.
All right, this is actually a very long video if you guys haven't already watched it. It is part of Hoonigans, but you know, they have a separate channel where they do different things. And Nads is actually one of those really cool characters in the Hoonigan universe, basically, where he's incredibly into Hondas, and you actually see him get to geek out as much as possible down there in SoCal in a Honda museum. I think a lot of those cars that are actually in there are specifically chosen. They're not like a random car they pulled off the line. They're just very well kept cars that people owned, that they bought, kind of restored a little bit more, so they already had to be at a certain caliber, and now they're in the museum. From Indy cars, F1 cars, and just, you know, every Civic, every hatchback, Prelude, Accord, anything out there that they wanted to bring in to kind of hold up the image of a Honda in the museum. So definitely check out the Hoonigan bonus video. It's about an hour long. I think they did a live stream on Twitch, but we have it on YouTube now. It's basically Nads walking around going over every single car, and the amount of knowledge that this guy has just from memorabilia to cars and things like that is outstanding. I might be wrong about this. If you guys know, definitely let me know in the comments below, but I think he worked for like Super Street, or I forget the old magazine that he actually did work for a very long time ago in the early 90s. So he has been in this scene for a very long time. So one of the cars there was a Honda Civic. It was like a 99 or 2000, but it's like body kitted out, huge wheels, everything you can possibly want from a car in the late 90s. So it was basically the epitome of what the scene was in the early 2000s, pre-Fast and the Furious, which basically like started the Fast and the Furious. But like I said, it's an hour-long video. It's very, very informative. I'm not going to lie to you. If you guys sit down and actually give it a lot of time, there's a lot of things you can pull out of that you would probably get from like a Honda Pro Jason video. But I really like the fact that it was just wandering around and just like Nads is rattling off different things in his head. It's a great video if you're an enthusiast of Honda, the brand, and just its history. All right, following that, we got the next channel, Rebuilder Guy.
Though it might be nice to own a jet plane, I'ma do it all for you. Come along and see it's true, but the world is pretty cold.
What up? It's Rebuilder Guy, and this is my Honda Civic Type R. This is part 7 of the series. If you want to see the other episodes, link is going to be in the top right-hand corner or in the description box down below. This exhaust needs to go. Rear bumper's on. This fender flare is on. Looks good. Quarter panel doors are good. Thank you, Metal Mike. You did a wonderful job. Today, we're going to be focusing on paint and body. We need to put some body filler here.
I found this guy on my feed and I really enjoyed it. He's actually on part 7 of this right now. I think he got his hands on a wrecked, salvaged FK8 Civic Type R, and he's on part 7 of basically rebuilding the whole car. The front end, the rear bumper, I think the quarter panel had some damage. You know, it was just a wrecked FK8, and he was like, maybe I can get this for a good price. And if you go back into other videos, he has other cars that he's restored and does a lot of body work and paint himself. So it's a really cool channel. I love the fact that you picked the CTR because it is a great car. And if you can get it for cheap and you have the ability to restore it, this is definitely a great car to just, you know, work on. So Rebuilder Guy, definitely check this channel out. He's not exactly incredibly tiny, but I do love the fact that he's jumping into a Honda, rebuilding that, and I really do want to see the journey of this FK8. All right, guys, I want to jump into some of the stuff that's happened last week. We have a bunch of stuff to go on, so I'm going to try to keep it short, but at the same time, I will go into a little bit more detail on certain videos that I really enjoyed. And with that said, I want to kick this off with Gerb Performance. They actually sat down and did an extensive video of all the all-wheel drive combinations you can do. If you know you were born yesterday and it's been like, what, 24 hours, you've probably noticed that everybody and their mom, even their grandma, is now building an all-wheel drive Honda, which is amazing because a lot of those parts have been around for a very long time. So Gerb Performance, who has actually got some very quick all-wheel drive Hondas that are going down the drag strip right now, sat down and kind of gave you an overview of what you would actually need to do if you chose to go D series, B series, or K series, caveats for either what viscous cups you actually wanted to go with or what other ideas you have. Differentials, I think, are all the same. Basically, reliability, you probably want to go with the wagon. I may have that wrong. Again, let me know in the comments below if you actually have other ideas. Pablo from SB Tuning, Dana from Young Static, maybe Froman Productions or Froman Garage now. I think he might want to be going all-wheel drive. There's a couple other people in the YouTube Honda Challenge that are definitely going all-wheel drive. So it was really awesome to see that Humble Performance basically sat down and said, you know what? If this is actually going to be a trend, we want to commend that. We want to educate, which is also a big thing Humble Performance is actually about and what the channel is trying to do. A lot of educational videos, which is something, you know, I love to do or I love to hear about more like it. So either way, props to you guys out there. Definitely check out the all-wheel drive builder's guide that Humble Performance is actually putting out right now. All right, following that, we got Kyle and the Boosted Boys and PFI. Sorry I don't really bring in Brent's channel. He's got a bunch of builds on there too. I definitely should be doing that because they've been doing a lot of builds for Fong's build and engine building and a bunch of other stuff. I'll probably cover that next week because it needs a little bit more time. But right now, collectively, what they're doing is getting the shop ready. So you can basically tell on both channels that they've dug the hole, aka trench, for the sewage system for the new shop because basically it like caved in on itself and you know you gotta go to the bathroom if you're at the new shop for as long as they are. But at the same time, they dug the giant pit. They're gonna seal it in with some more concrete to get the dyno finally in the new shop. So if you see it now, you know Brent's super excited about that. I'm really happy that the Boosted Boys crew is getting everything together. All the shop doors are open. Basically, I love the fact that, you know, if someone has a Honda or they're a Honda enthusiast, but they also have another like contractor ability like electrician, networking, plumbing, they're all just like, hey, I will help you, and they're all just helping PFI get on their feet and Boosted Boys at the same time. The latest videos for Boosted Boys, basically a lot of people going and getting the shop actually to where they need it to get to, so that way they can all enjoy a full shop space. All right, following that, we got Chris from VHB Engines. This is another guy that has been talked about in the past, whose channel has basically started giving you rundowns of different engines, combos, possibilities, how-to builds, and rants, and more of a podcast style. So props to you, Chris. I love the fact that, you know, you get ideas thrown at you and you can just talk about it, and that's basically what your channel is about. But that's not all it's about. He's had a motor that he's building. I believe it's a CSS block that he's been trying to get into his Integra for quite some time. The motor's in. It needs a little bit more stuff. But ever since he's moved to Florida, he's needed to get organized. Some of his live streams are funny because you can see he's like in his kitchen, which is funny because you can see the dining table behind him and it's had like a block on it, a couple cranks, cams, like he's just got parts everywhere. So I'm really happy that in the latest few videos you've got racks and shelving and stuff in the backyard or the garage that you have there, and you're starting to get organized. You pulled a K20A3 out of an RSX. I know you got big plans on there. You want to start building K-Series. You've been a lot more focused on B and D, more easily flipped out there in Florida, and you're more excited to make short blocks and flip them than whole engines in case, you know, you can't actually move a whole motor. So if you guys aren't watching VHB Engines, definitely check it out. Chris is a world of knowledge. He's got a bunch of stuff, and if you learn how to actually search his channel, he basically has a video on just about anything that you or I would have ever thought about in a discussion format. So definitely check out Chris from VHB Engines. All right, following that, we got Zosh hanging out. A lot of the videos are coming out from Clean Culture. I'm really happy about that. In his latest video, he actually got a new K20A2 transmission. It was in parts. I think he got it at the drag strip, but they're putting it all back together because Christina has needed a new one. He's been borrowing Randy's ever since his blew on the dyno. So I'm happy that you're back to uploading videos. You're getting Christina back to where you want her to be. And then hopefully in Evo by 2019, it seems like. Following that, we got Bodevision doing a lot of paint work, which I really appreciate. And in his latest videos, he finally got fresh paint on the Del Sol. This has been a 2 or 3 video extravaganza of basically getting everything torn down, prepped, and painted. So I'm super happy to watch you do this because obviously a lot of us out here are Del Sol fans, and on top of that, we just love body work and paint, and you turn around cars so fast at such a great quality that like I can't explain to you how cool it is to see you take something apart, paint it, refresh it, and I'm so happy your channel has grown so fast. You deserve it, man. Following that, long time coming, motor finally in. LaTommyla out there in San Diego has basically torn down his brother's EK sedan and pulled everything out, painted the bay like you did yours right next to the house. You got the motor in, and everything's looking fantastic. You guys didn't make too many shortcuts. You just tried to do everything you could do for time and things like that. So I'm super happy that the radiator got in. I think you went with a full-size RSX Koyo right in the front. You got the motor in, Hasport mounts. Like I said in past videos, you've basically sat and made sure you've gotten all the parts that you needed to make the install very quick and appropriate. So I'm very happy for you guys. I'm glad the motor's in, and I know the way you guys are hustling, the car will be on at any point. All right, next up, we got John Widmer, Garage Built Hondas. A big congratulations out to you, man, for hitting 25K. You actually put out a video. You made some custom shirts for the 25K. You're trying to do a giveaway. It's a good amount of shirts. So if you guys haven't tried that and you're trying to win a shirt, definitely check out Garage Built Honda's latest video. I think all you have to do is leave a comment in one of the videos or that video's random picker, you get a shirt. It's very simple. Congratulations to you, man. I found your channel a very long time ago, and I'm super happy that you've just been consistent with just EF content. That's what you're about, and no one can complain about that. Following that, we got Dashing Cars on video number 24 from Dash Daily. And I'm really happy that you've chosen, you know what, to build on the wagon. I'm assuming it's still rally season, dude, so I don't know why you're not out there hitting it with the mud and the weather and everything like that, but I'm not complaining because of the wagon content is fantastic. He's got a really great lift. A lot of people aren't lifting their wagons. I know there's a couple other channels out there, so let me know in the comments down below if you've got lifted wagon content. I want to bring more of it to light because I really love the fact that since they came all-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, you guys are out there literally putting it through the paces. But Daily Dashing Cars, definitely check out the channel. He's putting out a video every single day. He's been working on the wagon. He put it all up. I think he's got to rebuild the viscous cup or the rear diff, one of the two, because he kind of went a little too ham. But I'm really excited for you, man. I'm loving the content. Keep it up. The quality is outstanding. Every video, the par is just getting better and better. After that, we got Irvin Dorsey sanding down the new EK coupe that he's got in his car. He's also considering pulling all the engine stuff that he got from the JDM front Integra that he has in his garage into another car because he's definitely going to need a daily driver. He's out there in Maryland. It's like 31 degrees, I think he said in his last video, and it's only going to get colder. But he also mentioned that he's about to have another kid in a couple months, so he definitely wants to have a car with heat that's reliable, that can just get him around to work and things like that. I think they upgraded the family mobile, you know, so he's got a lot of stuff going on. The garage is finally coming back together. Props to you, man. You know, I love the fact that you still want to keep the grind. You still want to have a new project, but you knew family came first, so you just took care of that. I can't wait to see how fast you can pull the motor out of your Integra and put it into what will be your daily Integra. Following that, we got Steven Ocasio, and he's been fixing a problem that's been kind of bothering him for quite some time. He was always having some ignition issues, and I think it was grounding. He didn't have a big enough gauge or a proper ground in his car, so it was always acting a little weird. So in this latest video, he shows you how he attacked that, how he got that all taken care of, and basically getting the car more reliable. But if you've been following along with Steven, he did build a tent in his backyard to kind of house the car, but I saw on the East Coast, just across the whole East Coast, you guys hit with like not quite a blizzard, but first snow of the year. We'll go with that, the first snow of the year. And well, I don't know if the tent was also prepared because it came down on the car. Luckily, there was no like dent damage, but you said that there was some swirling and some just, it affected the paint. But you know what, back to the paint booth you go maybe, or at least a hardcore detail. So I'm enthused to see all that knowledge you have for detailing to actually come into play here and kind of fix a lot of the swirls that you notice in your paint. Following that, we got Trey Be Dipping building an F20B turbo motor for his Prelude. Man, that was a mouthful. But if you're watching these videos, it's really awesome to know how much knowledge and dedication he has to the Prelude that he has right now. He's rebuilding an F20B. He just primered and painted it black. You don't really see that too often, black motors. I've tried to do that once before. It didn't really work out in my favor. So I'm happy for you, man. I hope this one works out. It's going to look amazing. I think you put the like aluminum or brushed valve cover on your F20. You're doing a lot of the maintenance stuff before you put it back in the car. It's a great channel to watch if you're not watching Trey Be Dipping. There's not that many Prelude content channels, at least specifically just to the Prelude. So props to you, man. Keep it going. All right, next up, we've got Justin from 79th Productions. Very awesome channel. Really humble guy. I've been really happy to know that I've met him, and he's just been building this $300 Civic that he got. He kind of saved it from the junkyard, and this man is the magician of views. Like, you know how to work it, and I'm really happy that your car gets so much attention because you're an awesome dude. Like I said, you're incredibly humble, and you want to build a car with minimal things to prove that anybody can do it with just a little bit of elbow grease and just kind of like dedication. So that's what this car is all about. In this latest video, he basically had the carpet from the original car. He pulled it out, cleaned it up very well at a spray and wash, just scrubbed it up with some foam, and then, cleaned it, and then he paint matched it with some vinyl duplicolor and got the blue or gray coloration back into the carpet. Once it was dried, it looked almost brand new. You got it back into the car, the seats in. It looks amazing, man. So Justin, props to you, man. I'm so happy your channel is growing. Couldn't be happening to a better guy, and I love how well and how fast this car has come together. Speaking of dedication, we've got Chris from lazymangarage. If you've been following this guy for a while, you know that he's always there to help Luis and his helping hands and everybody else at the shop. In his latest video, he did some work for his mom's car because you know what? Mom's car needs to run tip-top always, right? So he shows you what he's doing there. He also has been getting some free engines lately, so props to you, man. You've been doing side work, hustling, and getting paid in engines, which is fantastic. I think you've got a B18A1 that you've got on the side for some things, and then also somebody gave you a K20 from, I believe, an Accord, a Z2, I think it was. I'm not sure, but you know what? If you're putting in hard work, parts are payment in my vision, so I'm really happy that, you know what, all the effort that you're putting in, all the polishing and all the grinding that you're doing is starting to pay off. The CRX, if you haven't been watching Lazy Man Garage, is definitely coming along. Chris is doing a lot of stuff on this car, restoring it. A lot of people have basically told him to, like, trash the chassis, get a new one, but you know what? He's had it already. He's got a connection with the car, and he doesn't want to quit yet. Anyways, Chris from Lazy Man Garage, definitely a channel I think you all should check out. He's a really great guy. I hope his channel really, really grows, and he's definitely always out there to help everybody around him. All right, after that, we got Barbas Life. I've talked about him in the past. He's got a really awesome EK coupe. He's basically taken everything he can off of the car, repainted it himself, and in this latest video, he's actually shaving the door cards inside, getting it ready for the drag strip diet. You all know what that means. So cutting out the inside of the door, putting a whole piece of sheet metal, making it much more light and better rigidity for the door so they're not all flopping around when you actually cut the skeleton out of the car. Definitely an awesome channel, a lot of DIY content. I really appreciate what you bring to the table, man. Keep this car going. Following that, we got Gerb Performance. Awesome FG2. He's bought a bunch of parts, doing a lot of testing and kind of just showing you around what's possible with this car. In this latest episode, he's probably on his 375th intake, but you know what? That hasn't stopped him. He went with the InGen intake, got it all in the car, felt the car without the Flash Pro, put a Flash Pro tune on it. I think he's finally good. I think he finally decided this was going to be his last intake for the car. So props to you, man. I'm glad of how much content you bring from the K-Series, the FG2, FA5 area, of the K-Series world. Thank you for making all the content you do, the exhaust reviews, the part reviews, in-world life of what it's actually like, pre-Flash Pro, and actually playing around with different tunes. All right, guys, last but not least, we got DIY Mike. I know you guys know who I'm talking about, but in his latest video, they know that, you know what, if they keep pushing the boost on the Pink Widow, it's not going to go too far. They're going to blow the motor. So they want to build a second heart for the car so they can keep going. I believe they have a GSR. They picked it up a while ago, but they want to build this motor with completely Chinese parts because a lot of us out there know some of these parts are quality and a lot of these parts are actually made already out there in China. So to start it off, they got rods from Max Speeding Rods. A lot of people out there have been hit up by this company trying to be like, hey man, we'd love to see you run the rods that we've built and actually see how much power they do produce. So DIY Mike is actually going to build a complete B-Series with only Chinese parts to see what fails. They're definitely going to push it, get it on the dyno, see how much boost they can push through this engine, and get the Pink Widow a second heart, making a lot of power. I think they also noticed that someone actually broke into the Pink Widow, started sleeping in there. Man, that sucks. You know what? You leave a car out there and someone just comes in and decides to make it their home. I've had many cars, I've had cars stolen from me once or twice, and I never liked that, and so I know what you guys are feeling out there. But like I said, DIY Mike, they got a lot of great content on the way. I think they also have a separate car that they built to match the Pink Widow. I love the fact that they're trying to do a lot of cool things with the different engines. This is going to be an awesome build. Definitely check out DIY Mike. All right, guys, with that said, that's it for this episode of the Honda Recap. I wanted to cover a lot of stuff this week because there has been, like I said, a lot of things that have gone down this week in the Honda universe here on YouTube. So definitely head up HondaVlogs.com/shop. Pick yourself up a sticker, a hoodie, a shirt. Keep yourself warm this winter. Definitely check out the shop. If this is your first time ever watching this, thank you for sticking around this far. What's up to all the people in Premiere? Thank you for sticking around for a whole live feed of this. If this isn't your first time watching, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you're notified every Monday night at 8 o'clock when this thing airs, and everybody's information will be down there in the description below. Head over there, check their channels out, give them a subscribe, say Honda Vlog sent you. Let's build this community up. Thank you all for tuning in for another week of the Honda Recap. I'll see you guys next week. Peace.